So this year has obviously been very different for wedding photography, to say the very least. All of my weddings, or most of my weddings, I still have a few that are roughly normal or as they plan them, but a lot of my weddings are becoming micro weddings. And one thing that I'm noticing there are huge opportunities in is simply the number of last minute micro weddings that are coming in, and how fast and how instantly they want to book, that when they contact you. It used to be a process that we'd set up a meeting, we'd go meet in real life, that would be maybe a 2-day delay. They would take 2 days to get back to me to be like, oh, like we've decided we'd like to go forward with you. Now that entire discussion happens in about 2 hours if you're fast on your email, which I do recommend you become faster on your email in this time, even just for the next 2 months. Tell your partner, your spouse that like, hey, this is important for the growth of my business and I need to do this until the end of October. But I have seen a lot of weddings that have gone from initial email to completely booked within 2 hours or less. I would say it's normal if a new inquiry comes in by the end of that business day. I would say most of these weddings are booked. I feel like micro weddings so much less stressful for couples, and by this point in the year that they've already met so many weird delays and uncertainties, they want to at the end of the day just get married to the person they wanted to get married to, and then also with their best friends and family around. I've also found that a lot of my couples, maybe this speaks to my personal introverted personality, but a lot of my couples never really dreamed of having these big elaborate 300 guest weddings. That was usually placed upon them by their family, specifically like culturally. Like if you're Italian and you're trying to have a small wedding, you're probably going to see some family pressure to have a little bit of a bigger wedding overall, or if you're Greek or whatever it might be. So this has been an excuse for a lot of my couples, my introverted quiet couples, to just have the wedding that they actually wanted to begin with, and without those family pressures, because now it's government mandated. So that's surprisingly, I guess, maybe one of the positives that I've been seeing. The other huge positive with micro weddings is that the days are so much smaller, and you get to kind of go in just for the photography section of the day. So you get to go in for those like 2 to 3 hours that you're actually actively taking photos. Another thing that I've noticed with micro weddings is that the stress levels are so much lower on the day, that no longer is a couple in charge of the guest experience for 150, 200, 300 people, that now it's so much smaller. So going into the day, they're, well, one, because of everything that's happened this year, they're a lot more willing and easy going with change. So if it rains or whatever, it's like, whatever, it's another 2020, right? But the other thing that I've noticed is that couples are way more easygoing when it comes to arriving and being like, oh, let's take some photos. Usually there's like a barrier that you want to get from basically arriving. They realize you're there with a camera, things are awkward, having your photo taken is a bit weird. You want to get them to almost forgetting that that's the thing that you're doing and to become comfortable. Now it is such a faster process to get to that. I feel like when I arrive, I don't know if it's just kind of all the struggles everyone's gone through with this year, that it's no longer a big deal to be in front of a camera, but I've noticed that my couples become so much more comfortable so much quicker than ever before. And then the other thing, I guess maybe the biggest thing in regards to wedding photography business, is that I would say very rarely am I actually at a wedding on a Saturday now. So rather than these Saturdays always being super in demand, I am much more likely to be at a Thursday or Friday or Sunday brunch wedding than I am to be at a Saturday wedding, which I think is absolutely crazy. So know that there are a lot of opportunities and that they are coming up very, very quickly. I'm in Canada, so I'm in Northern Hemisphere. Winter comes, winter gets a bit cold. So all of the couples that do want to get married are almost kind of rushing things along to a point that they want to get married really before the end of October, maybe middle of November. And know that this is a golden time in the history of wedding photography that has never existed again and will never exist for you again as a business owner. So it is something that you have to take advantage of really kind of right now. So I've developed a full walkthrough, a full guide that comes with pricing templates, that comes with email templates, that comes with a website template actually, that you can put everything into place really within a couple of hours. And it gives you all the tools that you need to get something out there to start attracting more and more and more leads so that you're able to book these weddings. The other amazingly huge thing for us as business owners is that now if you're able to shoot a wedding and you're booking it for it's next week, it's not going to be like 2 months from now or maybe 2 weeks from now. I think it's kind of my average now. You're able to book a lot more weddings a lot quicker, and you're able to generate more portfolio and more content than you've ever been able to create as a wedding photographer ever before. It's kind of cool. It's like you're almost coming in for a styled shoot in a lot of ways, rather than an actual wedding day. So you're kind of arriving, everybody's really relaxed, everybody's having a good time, like they're with their immediate friends, family, so much less stress than a usual wedding day. And they've also used a lot of the budget that they maybe put down as deposits towards floral and towards decor. So they're really setting up an amazing small wedding. And the other benefit is that now, rather than finding a place for a ceremony for 150 people, they need to find a ceremony location for 20 people. And that, you can be a lot more creative, and you can do something that if you want to get married in a forest, like now you can. So it's been really cool to see how couples have kind of taken what appears to be a negative and actually made it way more personal and a much better experience, and what they actually wanted for their wedding day. So I think that's really cool. If you're interested in learning more about everything that I've been doing to book these micro weddings, click through, link below. And yeah, that's the full walkthrough and the full process. And also, if you sign up to be a member, you get this course, and then you also get every single other course that I've ever made, which includes my Elopements course that came out last month, which includes Book More Weddings 2020. Obviously 2020 is a bit of a bad word now, but I would say everything that's in that Book More Weddings 2020 course, if you were to implement that starting, I would say, in November, December, January, you are going to set yourself up for the most high volume 2021 that you could ever imagine. Another industry trend, I guess, going into 2021, looking at my calendar as somebody that's been in business for 15 years at this point, all of my Saturdays next year are all booked, which means that if you have other people in your town that are usually the go-to photographers, there's a pretty good chance that they are all booked for Saturdays as well. And also the venues are potentially also booked for all Saturdays. So if you do find a couple and that couple happens to find a wedding date that's on a Saturday, there's a pretty good chance that most of your city is already booked because of just the increased demand. So if you are just getting into the industry and maybe you're a couple of years in, maybe you're shooting like 3, 4, 10, 15 weddings this year, or going into next year, you have an opportunity that has never existed before in the history of wedding photography. This is the year to take your business from being okay, providing a little bit of income, to something that is full-time as you want to make it, or if you want to make it a double full-time business, you can, we'll talk, there's stuff in the members site about how to streamline your business and how to outsource so it just doesn't take over your life. But you could easily be shooting a 60 wedding season, and then using what you do in 2021 to make an even better 2022 and keep moving forward. At the end of the day, I think it is the most important to make a business that makes you the happiest. So I think that every decision that you make within your business should be one that makes you the happiest. And I think by photographing these micro weddings, I honestly have the most fun doing them. So I would say that it is really a unique time in the industry, in the world, obviously, but this is something you need to do right now. So click through and implement this within the next couple of days if you possibly can. That's all for me today. Thanks for watching. I'm Taylor Jackson. See you next time.